How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. Ripple opposes SEC request for appeal. They can only win. Well, why the author thinks they can only win. In their effort to counter the SEC's motion for an interlocutory appeal, Ripple and its co-defendants Brad Garlinghouse and Christian Larson have made several arguments. To start, the company takes issue with the very nature of the appeal. They postulate that the SEC hasn't distinctly raised that what could be a pure legal question, so the SEC hasn't outlined what a legal question is. It deeply entangles the application of the Howey test to a specific array of facts, which, in their estimation, is inappropriate for the kind of consideration an interlocutory appeal demands. This assertion challenges the foundational reason for the SEC's appeal, suggesting it might be built on shaky ground. There's not really too much more that's really useful. It's all just speculation from that point. Grayscale boosts Bitcoin ETF team as potential ruling in SEC lawsuit nears. So they're trying to hire for 2 positions. We're not going to cover those positions. But Grayscale Investments highlighted on Thursday that its ETF team is expanding as a widely anticipated decision in its lawsuit against the SEC could soon be reached. Their ETF team is hiring, they said on Twitter. Grayscale took America's financial watchdog to court last June following the SEC's denial to convert Grayscale GBDC into a spot ETF. So this could help push the approval for multiple ETFs, which the article says further on. There's not really much more beyond this that's really too helpful, besides their hiring and they've had like 50 applicants. Coinbase suspends Tether trading in Canada. Coinbase today announced that it will suspend trading for 3 popular stablecoins in Canada shortly after boasting of its full entry into the Canadian market. In an email to customers on Monday, they said Tether, RAI, and DAI do not meet the company's listing standards based on most recent reviews. The trading suspension will not affect the access to these wallets, which will remain available for deposit and withdrawal after the trading suspension. The suspension will take effect August 31st around 12 p.m. ET. I don't see what the point of doing a deposit after that would be because you can't trade after that. But prior to the month, the Canadian Security Administrators said that they view stablecoins as securities, so that could play into some of this, but it also seems a little fishy because USDC will continue to be made available to Canadian traders, which is their coin that they own, basically. So it seems like a way to kind of take some market share away from one of your biggest competitors. Over on the total market cap, we are breaking our support resistance area. I put a Fibonacci level here. If you don't know how to draw them, watch our video that we have. RSI is overall falling, stochastic is falling pretty sharply. Our money flow is falling, touching that neutral, about to break through. If it breaks through, we could see further bearish action. Our momentum is coming down and our VWAP is sharply in the bearish territory, making new lows. So like we warned about, this could start a bearish trend. So it is likely we could come back up, retest some of this as we did come down really sharp. However, we could see further drops like we have before, and then maybe retest a little bit later. However, I wouldn't bet too much on too big of a drop if we can't get past this golden pocket. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are pushing to the bottom of this flag, so we could see this end up breaking out and breaking down. RSI is sharply heading down, our stochastic is falling, our momentum is coming out, that money flow is losing strength, VWAP is sharply in the bearish territory, and that momentum wave has a red dot on it because of it. So overall, we have a lot of bearish indicators. If we lose this zone here, we could see further downside. And we have been warning of this for quite some time, so hopefully you've been tuning in and you're not too shocked. Over on Bitcoin futures, we created another down gap, so we have this down gap and this down gap, as well as those other 2. RSI is overall falling, stochastic is falling, money flow is trending under the VWAP, and is in the bearish territory, so we have bearish momentum on the daily. Our VWAP is pushing under into the bearish territory and starting to gain a little more strength here, so watch out for that. Our momentum is coming down, our VWAP could likely make a retest after this, because right around here we've been in this zone and we quickly bounced after. You don't typically stay too deep in these zones without some sort of correction, because you don't get sharp moves without corrective move. But usually you will see your patterns fill. So we rejected this pattern. This is an official rejection since we sharply came away from it and we're breaking down. We do have this gap up, this gap down, so we could continue to this gap down like I said. Over on Bitcoin, we are falling pretty hard, smashing way through our supports and resistance. You should smash the like and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Join our Discord through the link down below. Join some of our members, get in with our 3D printing stuff. We're going to be doing some giveaways, and if you want to be able to join some of the giveaways, we're going to announce winners through Discord as well as show on YouTube, but your Discord will be useful. It is also all free. RSI is sharply coming out, our stochastic is sharply coming out, VWAP is in the bearish territory, our money flow has broken that bearish territory as well, and our momentum is coming down. So we just crashed straight through the golden pocket. So if we do get a little bit of a pump, we could see a retest of this pattern, which is our ascending pattern that we have been warning about since we were like way back here. So if you're too shocked, I don't know why you would be. Overall, we are crashing down. So we will look at the 4 hour now. We have gotten a pretty sharp drop from the 4 hour. We are coming under that golden pocket. If we confirm under it, we could see a further drop from it. RSI is falling pretty sharply. Stochastic's pretty beat down. That money flow is sharply coming out. VWAP is rejecting away from that neutral. So we have a bearish trend going on, but we don't have new lows yet, so watch for that. Our momentum is in the bearish territory, falling, so we don't have a red dot yet, even though we got into the bearish territory, but that's because we have had the red dot a few days, two candles ago. So probably like early this morning. Over on the 2 hour, we are trying to make a little bit of a bounce here. We are trying to head towards our support resistance area and trying to break through. If we can confirm a candle above this area, then we could confirm a bullish trend. However, if we reject this area, we could see further downside. RSI is heading up, stochastic's heading up, VWAP is trending down, so watch out for that. We are making lower highs and lower lows currently, so if we start with a red candle next, we could see that continue. However, if we get a green candle, we could try to push on this neutral. Money flow is sharply coming out and momentum is coming out as well. Over on the 1 hour, you can see we're still trying to make a retest. Got bigger pump on just this candle, and then this candle it's kind of phasing out. So if we get a red candle after this, we would set up some sort of a rounding top. That would be a rejection. RSI is starting to taper off. Our stochastic's trying to come up. That money flow wants to make a bit of a rebound. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory and our momentum is coming up with a green dot. So if this VWAP can maintain strong bullish momentum, then we could continue up. However, if this VWAP starts to flop over, then we will lose our strength here. Now on graph, on the daily, we are pushing, we did push that value area low. So we did make a touch off of that like we've been warning about for a while. Stochastic's pushing down with that bearish divergence. RSI is coming down. That VWAP is in the bearish territory as well as that money flow. So we both have bearish trends there. That's bringing our momentum down. So overall, we have some weakness. This money flow is struggling to break. Just hit the button. Struggling to break about 2. So if we do start to curl back up, we could start a bullish trend. But that's going to be more dependent on how these lower time frames act. So the 4 hour, you can see we got a pretty quick move down. RSI is starting to reject away, stochastic's starting to fall. That VWAP is maintaining a bearish trend. Our VWAP is pushing away from that neutral, and our momentum is coming out. So overall, everything is spilling pretty deep in the bearish territory as far as the momentum. Our money flow and VWAP, if these maintain this trajectory and keep coming down, then we could see further lower price action. like I've said, that lower price action could take us to around this 7.2 zone, about 5.7. So we have that 7.2 to 5.7. That's about the next channel or range that we would be trading within if we lose this current one. Over on the 2 hour, we are trying to get a little bit of a bounce. Our stochastic's getting a bearish cross and starting to fall. RSI is losing strength. Our money flow is on the bearish territory, just zigzagging around, so it doesn't know what kind of a trend it wants to maintain. Our VWAP is getting lower lows, so that is setting a bearish trend. However, it's starting to kind of taper off and could come back up. Our momentum is coming out with that red dot from that VWAP falling. However, if the VWAP manages to curl from here, we could see a green dot and a push up from here. Over on the 1 hour, we are getting a little bit of a bounce here, so that is good. We do have these wicks though, so we could fill those later. Stochastic is coming down, trying to get a bit of a bend here, so overall our stochastic's losing strength, but trying to recover. Our RSI is trying to head up. Our money flow is getting lower lows with slightly lower highs currently. If we start to get a red candle from here, that would confirm a lower high if the money flow comes down with it. And then we could see a bearish trend from there and see further deep action in this bearish territory. So just watch out for that. That momentum is coming down, but it does kind of want to come back up as our VWAP is heading up. If our VWAP can break through that neutral, we could get some bullish trajectory. However, it's starting to kind of taper here, so just keep an eye on it. Over on Anchor for the daily, we have broken our Fibonacci zone and we wicked way down to our pretty much bottom support zone. So that is a bit concerning. If we break that zone, then we have no lower support, so keep that in mind. So Anchor could end up looking like a meme coin pretty quickly if we do lose these zones. RSI is losing strength, that VWAP is starting to drop out. Stochastic is starting to fall, that VWAP is losing strength, wants to get a bit of a curl, so we'll have to see if it can start to recover from here. But with this long lower shadow candle, we would want that to come down, fill now rather than later, and then we could come back up and stabilize somewhere in this zone. That would be our ideal move to maintain this range. Our momentum is coming out, VWAP's trying to roll up. That the likelihood of that would depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin stays within its range, then other coins would stay within their range. However, if Bitcoin loses to the 20k range, we could see some coins take pretty decent hits. RSI is starting to drop off, Stochastic's starting to round out. Our VWAP is breaking into that bearish territory. Our money flow is overall falling and maintaining a bearish trend. Our momentum is getting a red dot with our VWAP breaking down. So overall, we have more bearish action here. But you can see that long lower shadow candle. Long lower shadow candles usually are bullish candles that bring us back up. But like I said, I'd rather see it filled now rather than later. Stochastic is overall starting to weaken. RSI is doing the same. Our VWAP is getting lower lows in this bearish territory, so it is trying to come back up. But if it doesn't make a higher high and come back through that neutral, we could see further downside. That money flow is trying to push up, so that is good for us. We did come pretty deep into it, so we'll have to see if we can maintain this raise back up. If we can't, then it's likely that we could start to bow out and see these lower price targets filled. That momentum is coming out with that red dot, so we are seeing that kind of get weaker and that could come back down, so keep an eye on that as well. Over on the 1 hour, Stochastic's starting to kind of round here, so that is good. We could try to get a bullish cross. Our RSI is trying to make a bounce. Our VWAP is trying to push through that neutral and wants to go bullish, so that would be positive for us if we can get through there. Our momentum is getting a double green dot, but that's going to depend on that VWAP. If the VWAP breaks through and kind of rounds off like this, we could just see another leg down. Over on the daily for XRP, we have broken through all our support resistances, and we even touched this golden one that people probably thought I was crazy for mentioning a long time ago when we were back here. But we have managed to get there. So I'm going to delete these patterns. I am going to delete this channel because that volume profile is broken right now. Because you can see we kind of can maintain it if we can bounce here, but we want to see this wick fill. With this is a long lower shadow wick. We explain that in Anchor. If you want to see what that means, look at Anchor. RSI is starting to fall, stochastic is starting to fall, VWAP is starting to fall, and money flow overall is rejecting away. Our momentum is setting up more bearish trajectory, so we have broken these supports, we have broken our value area low, so we have broken pretty much everything we have. We'll have to see if we get confirmation of more red candles here and see further downside. Yeah, ideally we would want to see this fill, drop down to this zone. We had that zone from like a previous point of control, so that was a golden point of control of our last volume profile that we broke out of. That's why we kind of had it there. There were some patterns that were pointing like we had this double top, but we broke away from it because of the lawsuit news. Now everyone's getting a little less hopeful because they're all worried about all the legal issues and the SEC coming back after them, or after XRP. So we are touching this value area high. If we manage to get green candles and push above this, we won't fall into this volume profile. However, if we do set more red candles and break this value area high, then this volume profile is going to be our next ranges that we'll have. I'll keep that support since it held perfectly. So over on the 4 hour, done with the 1 hour. Don't know why that looks so goofy. Let me fix this. Visual order, bring to front. Now it doesn't look so cloudy. RSI is starting to drop. Our money flow is starting to reject away, if I can get the word out. VWAP is starting to fall. Our stochastic is riding above that neutral, so we are as oversold as we can be with that stochastic. That is bringing our RSI down pretty violently. We are getting really low lows on this momentum. It doesn't really have much more lower it can go, but it would ride out this zone if we maintain bearish trajectory with that VWAP. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is trying to make a little bit of a bounce here. We are trying to get a little bit of a candle bounce. Our money flow is trying to get a bounce, but is getting lower highs and lower lows slightly, so we are confirming a bearish trend still. So keep that in mind. That bearish trend's on the 2 hour, the 4 hour, we have it on the daily, pretty sure it's on the 1 hour, so it's everywhere, so we have a bearish trend everywhere. Momentum is coming down as our VWAP is heavy in the bearish territory. Our VWAP is trying to make a bounce, so if that VWAP can manage to break through this support resistance area, we could try to head through that neutral and gain some bullish momentum. Over on the 1 hour, our RSI is starting to flatten out, stochastic's trying to push up, our VWAP's pushing through that neutral and wants to maintain some bullish momentum. We'll have to see if that can manage to continue with strength. Our money flow is trying to head up, and our momentum does have a double green dot, so that could help bring us up. That VWAP pushing, if it does manage to continue with bullish strength and get strong bullish strength, we could see some upside. However, if we kind of just taper off and fall, we could see another leg down, especially since we're opening a red candle here. Over on Algo for the daily, we did push our Fibonacci level pretty much to the T, so watch out for that. Our stochastic is overall falling, RSI is falling, our money flow is rejecting away, our VWAP is pushing down pretty hard, and our momentum is in the bearish territory. So like we said yesterday, this is pretty much the lowest we've ever been with Algo, with this wick that we had today, so we created a new low. So if anyone bought in there, good job if we managed to stabilize. Or if you DCA'd, that would be a good move too. Yeah. if you're into algo. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just one of the coins people asked me to cover. Stochastic is pushing down, RSI is pushing down, momentum is curling out, our VWAP's rejecting away, and our money flow is rejecting away as well. So overall, everything's looking more bearish than bullish on the daily, and we look like we have a rejection that could continue. Over on the 4-hour, RSI is starting to sharply decline, Stochastic's starting to roll out, our VWAP is breaking that neutral and heading into the bearish territory, our money flow is rejecting away, our momentum is coming out with a red dot as our VWAP's bearish, so overall we have more bearish signals here as well, and we have that bearish money flow. Over on the 2-hour, our money flow is maintaining bearish trajectory pretty sharply. Probably hasn't been this low in quite some time. Usually when you get those low lows, you get snaps up, but that's not a guarantee. We could see further lows, keep that in mind. Stochastic is pushing down, RSI is trying to make a bounce. Our VWAP is getting lower lows with lower highs currently, but it is trying to make a bit of a bounce. Our money flow does want to push up, and our momentum's trying to get a curl up as well, so we'll have to see if this VWAP can gain some bullish momentum. Over on the 1-hour, Stochastic is falling, trying to curl, so we could gain some bullish trajectory if we manage to get a bullish cross. Our RSI is starting to lose strength as our Stochastic's getting beat down. Our VWAP is pushing near that neutral, wants to go bullish. If we start to round here though, we could set further bearish action, or if we kind of flop over like we did right there. Our momentum is trying to come up, so we do have that going for us, but that's dependent on that VWAP crossing through and gaining strong bullish strength. So we will want to see that VWAP cross through and the Stochastic cross as well. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.